crowd basking in this glorious sunshine in the 80s here, as it has been throughout the tournament. Can't ask for much better than that. But it is quite glorious. And this is some battle, the three protagonists enjoying the competition. Right, this for birdie. No, never had a chance to get there. It's amazing how many putts have been left short from this area, and also from the area from which Tom Watson is putting out of the swale. You don't often see Tom Watson leave a birdie putt short. He really gives it a rap. Now, this for a momentary tie at least. Nope. Well, a slight smile crept across Miller's face when that one escaped on the low side. Hardly blame him. Got a great opportunity now to really slam the door in the faces of his two partners. This for a two-stroke lead over Watson and 3 over Weiskopf, who appears to have shot his bolt, really. Caused a lot of anguish. What a great 3 it would be. Left to right swing, downhill. Yes, absolutely all the way. 3 of the greatest birdies you could ever wish to see by Johnny Miller at the 15th hole.
Miller turned what seemed to be a sure bogey into a birdie and increased his lead by 2 over Watson.
The final group of the day has reached the 165-yard par 3 16th hole. Johnny Miller, Tom Weiskopf, and Tom Watson. And Miller now with a 2-shot advantage as a result of that sensational birdie just a moment ago. That will be right of the flagstick, but on the putting surface, safely there, and within 20 feet or so birdie range for Johnny Miller.
With 3 holes to play, the 1980 L.A. Open champ Tom Watson was running out of holes. He desperately needed to make birdie for any chance to catch Miller. With 25 PGA Tour titles to his credit, he wasn't about to give in. The same applies to Tom Weiskopf.
And that is also far right and trickles down into the bunker. Let's go down to Ben Wright on the tee.
Johnny Miller, you've played some wonderful stuff at 15 particularly. 3 of the greatest birdies you could ever wish to see.
I said to myself, it was funny, I was over that putt, I said, you're going to make this, it's going to be the greatest birdie you ever made in your life. And my second shot, you know, I'm not patting myself on the back, but I really didn't have much of a shot. I had to hit it underneath a branch, and I had such a good lie that I hit it so solid, it sort of rose. It went under and rose, and I hit it farther than I normally do. And it was just one of those shots you dream about and pull it off, and then I converted. And I still got 3 holes to play, but that was a big swing right there.
As Johnny runs to join his group, Weiskopf is in desperate need of a sand save here at 16, or he'll fall farther behind.
This is his second shot to the par 3 after missing the green for the second day. Well, look at this, not bad at all.
At age 39, Weiskopf showed he still had game. Now Watson ready to pull within a shot.
Take the break. Oh, yeah. How sweet it is. So Johnny Miller's going to have to work for it once again as Tom Watson applies the pressure. The heat is on. And he is just 1 shot behind with 2 holes left to play. Now let's see what Miller can do on top of that. Par 3 completely surrounded by gallery. is Johnny Miller. Two great birdies, one on top of each other, as Miller answers Watson's birdie with one of his own. And Miller goes birdie here on 15 and 16. He's still 2 shots ahead.
Miller had answered Watson's every charge and was poised to take the title with only 2 holes remaining.
I thought it was sort of over. In fact, on 17, I got cocky because 17 I laid it perfect for my wedge shot, and you know, I felt like I maybe was the best wedge player in the game at the time. I could spin it good.
Right at it. And right over it.
I got a little greedy, hit it just past the pin, and it took one hop and hung up in the rough behind the hole on a dead downslope, sort of sitting down.
And Miller with a little show of disgust.
Miller's first mistake comes at the 71st hole. Watson looked to capitalize.
That was Tom Watson, of course, who just swung it. He hit a sand wedge, and he's got it close. 3.5, 4 feet for Watson. It's not done yet, folks.
One place he should have guarded against on his third shot was going over this green.
And here's the fourth. Now you're talking about a severe turnaround. I think Watson's going to make this.
I tell you what, he's been there so many times, and his stroke is so pure, I wouldn't doubt it. I couldn't bet against him not making it.
Pretty straight from where he is. Miller is still the leader.
Right now, that's been right.
Tom Weiskopf, this must be great, though, for 3 world-class players to go at it like this. It's a great feeling, isn't it?
On a course like this, it makes it that much more fun, too, Ben. And these 2 guys are some of the best that the game's ever produced. And I just feel like, you know, I had my chance, but that was it.
And now the stage is set. This huge gallery in 80-degree weather all over the embankment behind the 18th green. And everyone's attention to center stage for the arrival of Johnny Miller, Tom Weiskopf, and Tom Watson.
Both players had similar lies in the left rough. Watson, 1 shot back, had to be the aggressor.
Bringing it in right to left.
He's on, but way low right of the green.
With the pin tucked back left, Miller was looking to find the right side of the green and hope 2 putts from there would win it.
Here's the leader.
Right. Got to go right. He's going right.
Miller nursing a 1-shot lead on PGA Tour Classic.
A gigantic audience, like Christmas ribbon, slowly winding its way through the trees, washing up against the embankment behind the 18th green. You talk about a stage. Look at the audience for the stage. Absolutely magnificent turnout and a great finish. It is not over. Just south of us in Mexico, they would talk about the bullfights and the moment of truth when the Matador looks over the horns. Right now, both Miller and Watson are looking over the horns, and so far, Miller is leading by 1 shot. However, he is off the green, but Watson is not exactly close. He's a good 70 feet away, at least.
Miller's chip now is a good technique that he'll use. He will take a low iron and not a wedge or a 9-iron. The ball will roll, and all he's thinking about is one thing: how can I get this down in 2?
He's about 85 feet away, maybe a little more than that. playoff we had here, would you believe at Riviera, the last playoff, the two great gods of golf, Sam Snead and Ben Hogan. And just the thought of that raises the hackles. And now it'll be Tom Watson marching, I would guess, 70 feet or more.
Well, Miller had about, I'd say he had over about 100 feet.
According to the measurements we have of the green, if you added 82 and maybe about 6 feet off, so you'd make Miller 88 feet away from the flagstick. And again, relying on those measurements, we would say that Watson is a good 70 feet from the flagstick, and this crowd is just going wild.
Watson, don't forget one thing. I mean, even though that Miller, it looks like he's got a little shaky par on the way out there, Watson also has to get this down in 2. If he ever made it, I think they'd go into shock. I think he'd win.
Well, there's a look at the putting technique of Tom Watson.
That's got to go. That was right in the middle, Vinny.
Just short. Well, you talk about white knuckle time.
It had been 32 years since a playoff decided a champion at Riviera, but if Miller can find the back of the cup for par, he will have successfully defended his L.A. Open title at Riviera, the only player to do so since Ben Hogan in 1948.
No chance.
Well, that silence is excruciating, and you can tell by Miller's face that the emotion washed over him. Now, again, Watson has the golden opportunity. It doesn't usually come to you, and he's had it on consecutive holes. Watson let it get away at 17, and he has been given a second opportunity at 18 to Connie Miller.
This is where it all boils down to. And this, sure, it's not long. You can make them for fun, but this is where it counts. And this is not an easy putt for the circumstances of playoff. Everything going.
And again, listen to the silence.
Unbelievable.
On to sudden death. On the first extra hole, Miller was safely on in regulation at 15. Watson from the bunker hitting his third.
Tom Watson. Deep bunker, downhill to the hole. Oh, that's a good shot. Well, he's left himself 4.5 feet. But Johnny Miller is in the driving seat with a birdie putt from 18 feet with a little right to left swing.
Watson, I hated playing with Watson. I mean, Watson, I felt like I hit it inside him almost every hole. I was a better ball striker, but that guy could just score. I mean, he just score. I mean, he was a magic player.
Miller again with another chance to put Watson away.
Oh, it just took a cruel little hop about a foot from the hole that just stopped it. Yes, he's exactly right. It did bobble. I think he would have had it otherwise. So par 4 for Johnny Miller. And can the iron will of Tom Watson conjure this one into the hole? He's got it. And so they will go to the dangerous little par 3 16th hole.
15, I should have won it outright there. He hit it in the right bunker, knocked it out about this far. I'll never forget this putt as long as I live. He had a quick little left to righter, and he started it inside right on a left to right. No way it could go in, and somehow went over to the low side and fell in the hole.
Watson made a career out of his ability to get the ball in the hole from anywhere around the green, and that truly elevated him to an elite status with the all-time greats.
And there's a portion of the gallery which is now trying to get favorable position around this par 3. You recall both men birdied this hole the first time around in regulation.
For the second straight hole, Watson was bunkered, a delicate little shot.
Well, he's got another 5-footer or so.
Miller was able to get up and down for his par, leaving Watson to again make another knee knocker to extend the playoff.
Great par.
We pick up the action at the par 5 17th, the third hole in sudden death. Watson to play first.
Again, the hole playing with the wind at the golfer's back. Watson hit a sand wedge before. He is way short with a sand wedge this time. Just gets up over the front ridge. He's a long way away. Miller, perfect shape. In between the opening, between those two bunkers, looking right up at the hole. Watson's about 30 feet away. By these standards, neither one of those are very good.
And then 17, I knock it in there about 12 feet. So I had a 40 or 50 footer up over this ridge with a big left to right breaker. And I'm thinking, well, you know, it's a good chance he could 3-putt this thing. I got a nice little 12-footer, and I could make that even if he doesn't 3-putt.
Watson for birdie.
Boom, in the hole.
Miller has missed 3 good chances to win from this distance on the last 4 holes. This to stay alive.
And this is what it's all about right here.
With 2 scrambling pars and a seemingly impossible putt at 17, Watson claimed his 26th PGA Tour title at Riviera in a dramatic 3-hole playoff with Johnny Miller. Watson's victory was a snapshot of the legendary player's magnificent career.